I want to start out by saying the name of the film. It's called Police State. And I've seen the teaser, and I'll make that available for people to go and see as well after the interview. But man, it looks so incredibly important for this day and age. This is literally about how the government is doing the exact opposite of what it was ever intended to do by targeting people. Fill us in past that. Did I get it right so far?
Sure. I mean, I would put it this way. If you try to define what makes a police state, what defines a society like North Korea, China, the old Soviet Union, you'd have to say mass surveillance, widespread censorship, political targeting, the effort to establish a one-party state and eliminate effective opposition, um, political prisoners, and all of these things, all of these defining features of a police state we now see in the United States right around us. So suddenly it's not so easy to say that we are, in a casual way, we are a free country, we're part of the free world, and all those guys are part of the unfree world. And so that's the question that this film examines in a very serious way. Are we becoming, right under our noses, a police state?
PoliceStateFilm.net. It's going to be out for limited release. We'll talk about exactly when that is coming up. What's interesting about this, Dinesh, I have not lived through, and you and I aren't that different in age. We have not lived through when the Nazis did what they did, and when in the USSR they did what they did, when North Korea first did what they did. By the way, put in place by Russia. So I can't speak to this other than ask you the very simple question. They're lying to us about what they're doing the entire time they're doing it. This is democracy. Trump is the fascist. D'Souza is the fascist. This is free and liberated elections. Hillary Clinton can complain about them, but D'Souza can't. If he does, he should be locked up. Did they do the same things in the countries that I mentioned before in Mussolini's Italy? Did they lie the entire time they were doing the opposite?
Right. So the lying is only needed in the first stage. And what I mean by that, Joe, is that once you've got the Gulag Archipelago, a network of prison camps stretching across the Soviet Union, once you've got a Stalin or a Khrushchev firmly in charge, they don't need they don't even need to give a reason. They just arrest you. And when you say what for, they don't answer. Right? But while you're building the police state, you don't have everybody on board. You don't have full control of all the institutions of society. So you have constituents that you need to help you to get there. And so that's why the deceit is necessary. That's why, for example, our police state is emerging almost behind a facade of law. They say we're fighting disinformation. We're protecting democracy. Why are you going after the leader of the opposition? Well, that's because no one's above the law, Dinesh. So our police state is a little bit unique in its own way in that it's masquerading as the champion of freedom and democracy when it's in fact the exact antithesis.